polish this glass with.
Hello and welcome back here on Forever Sports. In case you missed it, it's the Vodacom Bulls triumphant over the Hollywood Bet Sharks by 25 points to 13 in what seemed like a comfortable victory in the end. The Bulls had a lot of adversity, especially in that first half, considering they had 3 yellow cards to contend with. But nonetheless victorious, and they head to the final against Leinster, who are victorious over Glasgow. The final will, of course, be in Dublin at the Aviva Stadium. But it was the Bulls who started first and opened the scoring via that man, Sebastian de Klerk, who's been sublime all season on the left wing. The Bulls taken an early lead, and then an unfortunate slip from Jaden Hendricks at the base of the scrum, looking to clear. Unfortunately miskicked. Gave the opportunity to the man who opened the scoring, Sebastian de Klerk, with a lovely pinpoint, should I say, kick out to the right wing to Kane Moody to take the Bulls into double figures and into the lead by 12-0. The Sharks did reply with the penalty in that first half. But then, of course, the Bulls, with some ill discipline, it must be said, really did not do themselves any favours towards the end of that first half. Of course, losing first Harold Foster, then Cameron Honeycomb, and then just before half-time, Marcel Coetzee. The Sharks, unfortunately, couldn't capitalise, and that was that for the first half. You feel the Sharks did get a little bit more urgency in that second half, coming out firing with the likes of Mapimpi scoring on the left wing for the Sharks. The Bulls did put over another penalty to give themselves a little bit of reprieve, still staying in the lead. And then, of course, it was the likes of Ethan Hooker getting over for the Sharks' second try to take it up to 18 points to 13. Unfortunately, on both occasions with the Mapimpi and the Ethan Hooker try, again a slip of the foot. Perhaps it's something in the boots that favoured the Bulls, but on that occasion not getting the conversions. But still 5 points in it. There was a game to be had, but it was towards the latter part of the second half that the Bulls pulled away with the try, the break, after the lovely gather from Kobus Visa, finding his support outside in the form of David Creel to score the 5-pointer. The Bulls then getting the conversion to make it 7 and make it a 12-point game. The Sharks then forcing perhaps the last couple of passes. They knew how desperate it was. And you feel perhaps psychologically after the Bulls, you feel dominated at scrum time. We look at and give a special mention to the likes of Vilcolo, amongst others, getting one over and all Springbok front row for the Hollywood Bet Sharks. They didn't quite have the platform, and albeit the Bulls lacked the discipline, especially towards the latter part of that first half, they had the intensity and urgency on defence. Made some big hits in the centre of the park and on the edges, and were just that little bit more hungry to get to the final. It's 1 versus 2, Leinster versus the Bulls at the Aviva in Dublin. The Sharks bow out here in Tshwane in front of a fantastic crowd, 47,000 cheering on the home fans. What a jaw it's going to be in Tshwane tonight for the Sharks. That's it. We move on to Springbok Rugby. You can't help but feel the loss of Eben Etzebeth, a major factor in tonight's proceedings. Just lacking that physical edge, the Sharks. The Bulls, however, on top of it, on every occasion they could be, controlling what they could and taking the victory by 25 points to 13. From myself, Roots, here on Forever Sports, it's been an absolute pleasure. Until